And that also brings up the notion of predestiny.
Yeah, I was thinking about that again.
Right?
Why do you think that's something that's uncomfortable?
Because I like to feel in control. In certain instances, right? Like, if I would like to feel a certain level of autonomy in terms of where I position myself. Because if you're like in a bad circumstance, I think there's hope in knowing that you have control to rectify it, right? But if you feel as though, at least personally, if I feel as though I'm at the will of some predetermined design, then that relates to a sense of futility. No matter what decision I make, what I do, I'm going to end up in some unknown destination. And that destination isn't in my control. Everyone wants to have some level of comfort in their future, right? And I think the decisions that we make are ultimately a response of what we think will yield that sense of comfort. But if we're at the will of the world, then it's like it really doesn't matter what you do. And that's scary. So, I don't know. But it's also comforting too to know if you're in a position where you're really insecure about your ability to make decisions, then that can bring a level of comfort. Like, oh, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm still going to end up in X or Y position. If you believe that ultimate destination is something that you would like to be in. Do you have any feelings towards predetermination?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know, I think it's so interesting because a lot of the times when people think about decisions being pre-made, they kind of always, they limit the potential of what that could mean. Because it's like when we try to have control over our future or what happens, like we're only seeing from our current lens of understanding. Like we can't perceive the different ways that we'll grow or the way our strengths will develop, the way our prefrontal cortex or like synapses will change, in the sense of, like that's one like really major issue I have with the concept of choosing your path and determining your own path in life, because we're only acting from our current lens of understanding, and there's like a breadth of knowledge and literal like wave and light forms, sound particles that we cannot experience, and yet we've convinced ourselves that we know what's best or the best option or the best route. And so I feel more at peace relinquishing control to the ebbs and flows of my destiny. Like, because I find peace in knowing that like time, life, space, energy is a waveform with crests and troughs. Yeah, going up and down, you know what I'm trying to say. And so it's like, even if you're in a poor situation, knowing that it's a waveform, it will rise. You know, like if we actually have free will, which I think we do have the choice to choose, like every, you know, when I said like every path that you come to, it's a fork, and then like you could choose one or two, and then that one has its own and own, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So then that would mean that there has to be other versions where you chose or like how the other side would have played out if you had chosen the other side of it. So like ultimately there has to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also crazy because like one thing that I've really thought about was we always think about there being a whole bunch of separate worlds, but like what if it's all right here in this one space, but the way that our eyes are interacting with the reflection of light particles, like we only see our now.
That's
wild, right? Like the other you could be like right here, but and they could.
How does that account for other senses, like voice?
Because there's sound frequencies that we can't hear, but like dogs can hear, or dolphins.
So they're speaking really high or really low?
I don't know, maybe some of the time dimension is warped. What's the fourth dimension? Yeah, like what's the fourth dimension about? Because there's 1, 2, 3. Anyways, one of them things.
I don't know, B.
Do you think about the ting-tings all playing out at one time?
Not until you proposed it.
Ye-
Oh no, I thought you meant like it being in the
In
same
different
physical
spaces.
space, but in the
Oh yeah, that's what I was
That
talking about.
one.
Like that would be wild.
I haven't thought about that. But yeah, I like to think that there are other universes, and I think that notion is coming.